Namaskaram, Professor Rachana, my sister Caroline,
Recording stopped.
my brother Raja who invited me for this program. I was requested for a joining meeting maybe 3 days, 4 days back. I was traveling continuously and it so happened instantly yesterday I returned and then today 9th I was asked to speak. It's so surprising, last year same day, May 9th, almost same time I was talking on the same platform on the same subject. It was on SDG 9, the peace, May 9th, and I was talking like this. I just heard it today because I don't want to repeat it again.
Sir, the world is round. So
Yeah.
we have finished the circle, full circle.
But somewhere I think we should escape out of this round, right?
Yes.
We are all for that. I'm so happy Caroline is doing a lot of great activities around Hyderabad and I stay in Hyderabad. Right. I love to see physically what is happening there and then become part of it. And I was so happy when Louis was talking about the world peace. The Bharatiya Samskaram talks about always the Vasudhaiva Kudumbam. The world is one single home. But today, our neighboring country, Pakistan, is in full trouble because the previous Prime Minister got arrested now. So we are in a situation where every day we are seeing a lot of chaos, problems. It is not as simple as we speak and it is not handled by.
Recording in progress.
My sister was telling, no, we are all educators. We can only educate. We are not in action most of the time. But for last few months after the COVID, a little bit of peaceful time where I could travel. I was traveling the east, west, south, north, Kathmandu, Everest, and whole throughout. Almost every day I am on rail and move, flying from one end of the country to the other end of the country. I have been visualizing what is happening in Jharkhand vis-a-vis what is happening in Punjab, what is happening in Bengal, and what's happening in Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Kerala. I have been all these places for the last 1 or 2 months, traveling across, talking to people, understanding. We can see a lot of great infrastructure development. But what happens is when you have got a huge road coming up, the people who are crossing the roads to talk to each other, the brothers who had houses in both places, now they have to travel 60 kilometers to reach to their neighbor's house. The crossing is after 30 kilometers. You can see what a havoc is made. Is it called a infrastructure development? This is happening because our infrastructure is not taking care of the real sustainable development. Sahana vavatu, sahanau bhunaktu, sahaviryam karavavahe. We have to live together, sit together, learn together, share together. It's a huge divide. When there is a development in one part, I am sure there is a gap created from the rich and the poor. The industry creates money for a few people. Once upon a time, probably a few years back, maybe India is very, very young country, like 70 years in the independence. The 70, 80 years of independence is not a great time in the development. But we are fast growing. Fast growing means we are creating a large difference in the community. The development is entirely different from the progress. Each word has to be understood very carefully. The progress is different and development is different. So thus what happens in this world? In this world, the sustainable development word came very quite apt at the right time. Because we had UNDP, United Nations Development Programs. If you look at very closely, UNDP talks about education for all. Now sustainable development talks about clean, good, value added education for all. Nothing different. That means so far we were giving not value added, we weren't doing the right time. So in the introduction, as being mentioned, I don't remember whether Caroline or Rachna spoke, you were telling that no, we are in 2030 we have to reach. Now it is 2023. We are still talking about the plans. Nothing is happening. And who is listening? Only the few who are around us we are listening. Nothing is happening on the ground as such. So the government policies have to be influenced so thoroughly where they create a reasonable change. So let us look at whether that is happening and whether that is really creating problem which is not sustainable, therefore the people are suffering at the ground level. This is what probably we can look at and then talk to people, for which I think people have to be on the ground. That's what I decided. I have traveled. It's a horrible experience of traveling in the north in the summer, hot sun, no? But still I take this as an option because I want to see how people suffer in those areas. The technology advantage and the support of the sustainable development. Just now we heard from I'm sure my sister who is from Malaysia, Indonesia, and people who are in the Asian region who is slightly different situation, in the infrastructure development they may be not very far from India. Under 192 countries it may be around 80 or 90, I am not very sure. And India is not very bad, it's at 60 level. But if you take look at, I'm looking at my sister here who is from Georgia, she is going to speak on this topic, and her index is only 60. So it doesn't matter whether we are putting it into the index and say that India is developing. It is, we have a great happiness index which shows Indian people are not happy. But I don't know the measurement mechanisms. The statistics when we talk about, it has a different methodology. And if you are not very carefully looking at the sustainability, over past 3 years, if you look at what happened in the infrastructure development, which are funded by mostly the companies who wanted to run software industry in this world, they had taken huge amount of money from the bank. They created huge infrastructure and people started working from home and the buildings are empty, and I am sure they will not be paying the installments which are supposed to be paid to the banks, because they don't mind the banks acquiring the infrastructure, because the loss is not much, because they are due to pay large amount and they are not going to use it. So what will happen? The bank will acquire properties which are not required for anybody and the bank will become bankrupt, and in that there will be a lot of collapse of the economy. So infrastructure development is not done with the inclusiveness, understanding the resilient of what exactly required and how the development have to be built with a sustainability. Things will collapse as you grow higher and higher. Once it collapses, it will be a big fall. And few big falls are good enough to create large problems in the economy of that country, and that will have replications in the other countries because we are in a global economy. That is where I think the politicians have to have good advisors, where educators have got a good role to play. So including the technological, social, institutional innovations. Discuss the role of the government, private sector and the civil society, fostering to innovation which will create an international cooperation between the large countries. To happen that in the government level, probably we have a role as an NGO, as a people of getting connected to different parts of the world so easily, which is otherwise not possible. Therefore, we should look at these discussions, which will also get into the eyes of those great people who plan for infrastructure. See, it's true that for last 10 years in India, probably the infrastructure rank of India from 70s have gone to 50 or maybe 55. That's a huge change. Understand, it is not India is going high. Understand, there are a lot of other countries who are not able to make up their infrastructure to that level which really required. The national highway where I was mentioning, it has created a large highway, but understand how much people are suffering and how much is the disturbance which is made. We have a great the rail connectivity. Our electricity in India and sanitation and water probably, which 10 years back would have been around 60-65, is now at 90-95. It's a 30% growth. It's a great growth. The GDP would have grown to probably 25.6% growth in the few years. The accounting would have become a great expected accounting, which was not really happening, have grown 77%. That's what the statistic says. Therefore, the innovation index, if you look at it, earlier maybe 20 years back, it would have been 81st rank for India. We are now growing much faster because India has got a young population, lot of entrepreneurship, lot of innovation, Make in India project, and it is being supported by different people on the ground. Therefore, it is not infrastructure, that's not the other portions of economy, SDG or the GDP, the sustainable development, which has not happened, but we had a great growth in the innovation sector, which is being handled by youth. I am sure this will see a great light in the next 20 years in the development of India. That is how probably India will become the world leaders. There are a lot of challenges and opportunities which, if we start analyzing, between the lines, if you start reading, the progress in India is not totally sustainable and SDG goals are not really met, and a real study on this on the ground will create a lot of problems when we wanted to show our head up in the United Nations. So despite the achievements, I am sure India still faces several challenges. The promoting sustainability in industry, innovation, infrastructure, and the inadequate infrastructure, insufficient investment, limited technology which is reaching up to the lower level, which needs to have a great eye from the people like us who wanted to contribute something to the downtrodden and the great society. This is my view on this, and I am sure what you are all doing with this great activity under the umbrella of the Vishwa, the great name we have got, it's not a small name, the Vishwa Humanity United International Royal Society, I am sure have a great job to be done, great work to be done, which contributes and create some small awareness among the people, but more to do on the people who are really suffering on the ground. Namaskaram and pranams for this kindness, for inviting me again onto the same platform on the same day.
Thank you.
And love to see you all physically sometime very closely to work together. Thank you, pranams.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Namaskaram.
Surely, sir.
Yeah.
Because we are Hyderabadi people, sir.
Yeah.
The message you sent to Professor Dr. Vijay Karim and in the chat box really so wonderful, sir. We felt very happy and honored. Thank you so much. And last year also you supported us a lot, sir, gracing our World Peace Summit and making this summit a grand success, taking it to next level with your gracious presence. Really, we always feel proud of you, sir. Really, because you are a great space scientist and the wonderful work you are doing. And whenever I see the sentence spiritual guru, spiritual master, spiritual thinker, easily, because such people our society needs, sir. Because we are good physically, we think that strong and everything, but in spiritually we are very zero, sir. Really, thank you for your contribution to our society in spiritual front. I appreciate your efforts, sir. You are doing commendable job. Really, we are honored and blessed to have your presence on this platform. You made it a grand, And I request Professor Dr. Vijay Kalin ma'am to say a few words so that I'm over to you.
Hello?
Thank you very much, sir, for
Sorry,
joining us.
sorry to interrupt. I have another engagement. I'm logging off.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. We are honored. Thank you.
My pleasure, and then we'll stay in touch. It will be lovely to keep touch again.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. I would love to Canada.
Okay, talk to you soon.
Sir, thank you very much, sir, for joining us. I felt very happy when you said that you want to visit our place. Definitely, sir, a warm welcome to Saidabad Zingrani Colony, a slum with 55 acres of land, full of underprivileged people. We are working for them. So at our level, we are trying our best level. We cannot do a transformation, a complete transformation, but being a humanitarian, it touched our heart and we are trying our best level to make them happy and lead a peaceful life. So that is only the work I am doing, sir. Thank you very much. So kindly visit our place. I will be privileged, really happy. And you are amazing, sir. Your works are so commendable. And it touched my heart. And one should be very spiritual. Then only we can understand the essence of the life. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, with your wonderful words as always. It's always a pleasure listening to you, sir. And the way you had highlighted that the development is going on, but where is the progress? But we saw a little ripples in Vishwa Humanity Royal Council where they have tried to bring in, yes, the sessions are conducted for awareness, and we believe that it has really created that awareness. But yes, we believe that we need to come to the forefront, to the field, to work as Vishwa Humanity Royalty Council has already started the work. We all need to join hands with them, and surely the change is not going to be far away, as we have younger minds in India, which you mentioned. It is clearly evident that yes, India has is going to make a lot of change in the innovation sector, where the young minds are working day in and day out, and every day we have a new invention, a new change, a new revolution being brought. Only people like you and who can guide them and bring them to the right channel, and that is what is very, very important. And people like you will surely be able to guide these young minds, the outburst of talents which they have. They just need to be put in the right boxes. They already are there inbuilt with that powerhouse of knowledge and ideas, which needs to be channelized or bundled together with people like you who can do them with the heads of technology. Thank you so much, sir, and it was a pleasure listening to you, joining us tonight here in our platform and sharing your knowledge. As we all know that you are a storehouse of knowledge. Every single page you turn over is full of knowledge, which you can give in any subject. I have been always there as a moderator for you in several platforms, and I have heard you speaking in different topics, not only about technology, but in several other fields. So thank you so much, sir, for joining us tonight, and again making us enlightened with your bright knowledge.
So kind of you all. Thank you. God bless you.
It was an
Thank
honor
you.
for us.
Just now, 1 minute.
Yes, sir.
Today morning, it was a great morning. Actually, I like positivity and I like people who are with positivity. So in the 2020, now there is only one guy who is ruling all social media with hundreds of great gatherings and all. He's like a monopoly, the king of Facebook, the king of LinkedIn, and all. Just because of his positivity, there are numerous people, especially from Europe countries and Western people. So they are his staunch followers, and he was ruling the roost, and he was amazing, he was commendable, he was doing so much in the society, and we met 2 or 3 times on social media platforms, and we together had great plans, because I don't know whether I say spread positivity or not, but I like the people who spread positivity, because I am promoting peace and he is promoting positivity. But anyway, we are together and we met at two platforms. Whether we come together and we do some magic to the society. That's what we discussed. But unfortunately, some sad events have happened. Maybe health and personal issues. 1 year, really, absolutely 1 year, he was not there on social media, and the programs were halted because of some reasons. But anyway, we thought that we missed him. We missed that person who is spreading that positivity. But yesterday, I saw some endorsement in LinkedIn. Then I felt very happy getting some endorsement from Gaurav Sharmaji. It's a great honor. Then I sent a small token of gratitude to him. Then I received a great message from him. That's different. But early in the morning, I woke up with a lot of inspiration, lot of what we call some magic. Today we have the Prime Ministerial office is there. That is because of him, because he has given the boost. Just do something. So that's why I did something, and I got invited him, and he was here. So the program was a grand success because the message in the morning, while I was reading, because so much of negativity in the present society. So I sent a message to him, brother, please be there on our as a special guest. Say some positivity. So I said it's not SDG 9, because peace is interlinked with positivity. So say give some positivity to the 9th day, brother. Please join us. He was in journey and I couldn't switch on the camera. That's what he said. But somehow we need your presence and please be here. That's what I said. And brother is here. Really, brother, you are back. And we'll see you in one more day, because I want you to proclaim the message of positivity, brother. That's what the people required, because we are talking about spirituality. Because that is what positivity, brother. We are spreading the message. You are doing a great job to society, because minds are being corrupted by people. So that is in the present society. So no one is there to protect. So we need people like our Professor Shishkumar sir, Professor Gaurav Sharma ji, like people only.